Shalom Yasharella with Shami and Anaya, and today we're going to be recycling my old cargo pants into a skirt. For reference, this is my first time doing this, and it took me about an hour. For this project, I used an old, oversized black pair of cargo pants, and I really liked it because it had all of these cool designs and pockets. The first thing I did was lay it down and kind of like arrange it so I could, start cutting it. And the first step was to cut the seams. And you could easily use a seam ripper, but I just used my scissors and cut along the seams in the inside of the pants up into the groin area. Alright, so the next step was to turn it inside out and arrange it and lay it down so that the seams that we just cut were laying on top of each other. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you look in the video, you can kind of get a feel for how they were arranged. I then worked to cut off the bulk in the front and the back of the dress so that there wasn't any pockets or chunks sticking out. And this is what it looked like. For reference, I used the B33 Bernat machine. I had it for about 2 or 3 years now, and it was around $200 to $300, and it works pretty good. The next step was to add pins along those sides that we laid on top of each other so that we could easily sew them together. And this is what it looked like. And then it was just time to load up the machine. I had already found a red bobbin already in my machine, so I just used that since you wouldn't be able to see the seams or the color of the thread. One thing I like about this machine is that it had an auto threader, so no poking your fingers, no trying to stick it through the needle. It was just really easy. And the next step was to just sew along the line and use that back pedal when starting or finishing the stitch. After I was done sewing both of the sides, I cut off all the bulk and the excess fabric, and this is what it looked like. And you can see the seams and the thread on the side. And after I was done at turning it inside out, it was time to try it all on. And y'all, I was so happy with the results and what it looked like at first. I did have to work on a few things because it was a little too long. So the first thing I did was work to cut that down, and I ended up cutting slits in the sides. I also did some work off camera where I fixed buttons and I fixed some seams that had come undone, and then I worked to lengthen those slits. And here's the final result. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna see you in my next one.